As DJs, we face a lot of problems. From broken PAs, to wrong bookings, to even no monitors in the DJ booth. So at least your audio interface shouldn't cause any problems. That's why we started this video series all about DJing with RME Audio Interfaces. And today it's all about the Fireface UCX, our simple, small, multi-channel powerhouse. With 8 input and output channels accessible directly from the unit itself, you can expand your DJ sets way beyond traditional DJing. You could use, for example, up to 4 decks or 2 decks with 2 sample decks, or even integrate your Ableton or DAW audio stream into your DJ sets. Everything is possible with the Fireface UCX. The Fireface UCX gives you a total of 4 stereo outputs on analog TRS cables. So you can go up to 4 channels directly into your DJ mixer. On the back we have 3 stereo paths with 6 TRS cables, and on the front we have the headphone output that is a stereo TRS output plug. But because we are RME, the headphone output is a fully fledged line output with line output level. So there is no sound degradation and you can use the headphone output as a normal stereo line output.
Because we want to highlight the full flexibility of the Fireface UCX, that is 4 stereo analog input and output channels, we show you some different setups. The classic approach would be to use the 4 stereo output channels for 4 different decks. All we have to do is go to System Settings of the DJ software and route all the decks to the 4 stereo analog outputs of the UCX. The first 3 stereo outputs will be on typical TRS. The last channel 7 and 8 will be on a stereo TRS output that has the same amazing converters as the other outputs, so there is no loss in sound quality. If latency is an issue, you can set these normally in the audio settings. Thanks to RME's very efficient and stable drivers, we can use low sample buffers, resulting in very low latency. Nowadays, it is very common to work with samples and loops to spice up your performance. In contrast to mastered songs, samples and loops often lack punch and clarity. So we could use the DSP-powered dynamic section of the UCX on every output to add some excitement and dynamic control to the sample decks. With the improvements of CPU processing power, we can now run several audio apps at once, and thanks to Ableton Link, it's nowadays very easy to synchronize different audio programs. Consequently, we can DJ and perform at the same time using DJ software and a DAW or other apps. Such setups need high channel counts to work properly. That's where the UCX comes in handy. In this case, we use 2 decks from Traktor and add 2 channels from Ableton Live with loops and drum machines. Open Ableton and Traktor and activate the link option on the top of the left corner. Now Ableton acts as a master clock generator while Traktor acts as a slave. Click on Sync to synchronize the decks to Ableton. The Traktor decks go to channels 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And the Ableton channels to outputs 5, 6 and 7 and 8. Again, these channels will show up as the corresponding software playback channels. All we have to do is distribute the Ableton and Traktor channels across the outputs. If you are done with your setup, save it as a snapshot.